Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Just a little bit of update on that whole Jason Momoa being excited over at Warner Brothers DC and at Legendary. So come to find out, Legendary, he's got an opportunity to be in the new Dune remake film, which is awesome. But there's like so many actors and actresses in that movie. People are joking for days now that anybody could just show up as an actor cast in that movie. But a great opportunity for Jason Momoa. That's awesome. He was happy about that. But what about the Warner Bros. DC? Well, nothing has come of that meeting. We can only assume it's Aquaman 2. Jason Momoa did go on Instagram and he was pretty thankful for all their opportunities. He posted that magazine or article that he was going to be in Doom, and he said good things are coming. He has 2 movies, some TV shows, and other things that's in the pipeline for him, including his YouTube channel as well. So that you could already see what that is. So Dune is one, possibly the other one's probably Aquaman 2, but we're hoping he talks about other stuff. He talked about other stuff at that meeting, but we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see soon enough what that could mean. I don't know if it's going to be now, soon, San Diego Comic-Con. Who knows? But it's going to be an interesting week so far. And then I want to talk a little bit about that Forbes article. Okay, Mark Hughes had done a nice article about the DCEU, and the reason why I never talked about it, because a lot of that information that he presented in that is kind of old, and he also admit that too when he kind of got into a little squabble with Mario Robles, but it is old information. It's just current information that has not been updated. So like the whole Supergirl thing, Batgirl, Jared Leto's Joker and Harley Quinn and stuff like that. And one of them was Harley Quinn not going to be in the James Gunn Suicide Squad. Shortly right after, it updated, and he says it's been updated. Harley Quinn is gonna be in the Suicide Squad, which is not a real shocker or surprise. I was actually shocked that she wasn't gonna be in it, as seeing she is one of the most popular characters of that movie, and she's kind of a mainstay now for Suicide Squad for the DCEU, and so it was kind of a surprise that he would say that, but then he updated it and says things going around, and he starts making all these different tweets about things happen and things sources and stuff like that. So it's not nothing spectacular, nothing really new with DCEU. We've always got this ups and downs in terms of rumor mongering and what is true, what's not, updates here, what's in production, what's not in production. It's the usual DCEU. It's really hard to be a DCEU fan because it's so many ups and downs, right? It's just the way it's done. It's just the way we are presented to the DCEU fandom in this very secretive studio where they don't want to tell you what's going on, and you're reliant on all these scoopers and these articles and these opinion articles and your just own speculation, this channel, and all the to know what's really going on. So, but it very much seems like appears, and that Ben Affleck is totally gone. Okay, Zack Snyder kind of came out with almost like eulogy. It's almost like someone had told me on Twitter, Kenny. He said that it's like attending a funeral, and you really know you're not sad. You're sad that that person's gone, but it doesn't hit you until the eulogy. And Zack Snyder kind of put out this little VERO post of a very sad-looking nightmare Batman, and he says there was a time above, a time before, there were perfect things, diamond absolutes, but things fall, things on earth, and what falls is fallen. In the dream, it took me to the light, a beautiful line, straight out from Batman v Superman. And then he says, "Best Batman ever. Thank you, my friend, for blessing me with that effing glorious chin and amazing heart." So, very kind, great words for Ben Affleck. It very much appears that he also learned about Ben Affleck no longer being Batman the same time we did, in the conversations below, and that's sad. I mean, so you can tell from there that, just by that note, that Zack Snyder isn't also one of the people that are not sure what is going on in Warner Brothers. Walter Hamada and crew is very much tight-lipped about anything that's going on, to the fact that Amy Adams doesn't even know if she's still Lois Lane. So it's very tight-lipped and unfortunate. So, and for people who like Zack Snyder, who's producing a film in the DCEU, or as getting production credits, doesn't even know what's going on, and it has to rely on what we see in the media, from scoopers, from the Hollywood Reporter, from Jimmy Kimmel show. So it's very weird time we living in. And just to even get you a little bit more sad about this whole situation, is that, Zack Snyder, someone asked him, Rohith Thomas says, "Hello, boss. Do you think we would have got a Flashpoint storyline if things went as planned initially?" And Zack Snyder just replies, "Better. It would have been better." And it would have been that whole thing. I mean, we all, even John Aaron had talked about a long time ago. We all knew kind of why, when we saw when oh my God, it's amazing how far we've gone. When Batman v Superman came out, and then you see Thomas Wayne, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan was cast as Thomas Wayne, and you see, even Martha, like you see these actors and actresses being casted, and it's like a small role. You immediately go like, I bet they could use that in the future. And sure enough, they could totally imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the comedian. He would have been Batman in the Flashpoint. I think there were clues, and there was some conversation that there was something that could have happened later on. And I kind of thought about that as well, where after this whole 5-part arc, they would have used Flashpoint to reset everything back, and then every hero can go out about their way and create this universe after the Snyderverse. Of course, the studios, the bloggers, the people who were so impatient, they couldn't wait the whole Snyderverse. They really crapped on the whole thing before we could even see it come to light, and that is so unfortunate. This whole thing died because of the media bloggers, from the people who didn't like it. They're really outspoken. It's so terrible what they've done. And Warner Brothers, who didn't have the balls, or to stick it through, to say, "Hey, this is going to work out. We signed you on, Zack, for this vision. We're going to continue on. We're going to stick it out." But no, they just ended. So yes, the Snyderverse is gone. We're not going to get a Justice League 2 and 3. We're not going to get any of that. The only thing we can even hope and could actually come out is the Snyder Cut in some shape or form. Now, some people says this DCU will have to die completely, a total reboot before that even happens. Could be, who knows? Or what it could be. Maybe Netflix could get it, or some Warner Media Group streaming service could get it. But all in all, it really, this is the end of an era. Truly an end. And Zion Ferrucci had said this, and I like what he said. He says, "This truly marks the end of an era. We can only continue to imagine what could have been in a perfect world." So we could have really imagined what this whole saga would have been. And I'm just going to put it out there as the ending of this little short video, because it really is. I'm still sad about it. I threw up the song Times Are Changing from with Bob Dylan song, and I just listened to that and it just made me sad. But you've heard it. It's from the beginning of the Watchmen, but it's an old song. And so I just putting it out there to Netflix, not that you're listening or whatever happening. Like, if you could give, right, Zack Snyder an original, fund an original superhero film part arc to kind of tell the story of what the Justice League story would have been. Without Warner Brothers and DC, actually getting on your case and changing him. You could, create your own heroes, kind of like Watchmen, kind of like how Alan Moore created Night Owl and Rorschach, kind of using bases of The Question and, Batman, things like that. So have that same thing. Create new characters. If you can get the old cast back, great. But if you can't, well, but at least we could actually see what that would have been like in that whole five-part film arc, as an original superhero names and superhero costumes and everything, and just play that out so we can all see and we know that what you were trying to say. This is like what Justice League would have been, and it would have been incredible and fantastic. But so, just putting it out there. If they want to do that, I think it would be quite something. I wouldn't mind watching that just to see it. It's an original state, and there's an original comic property, original superhero names and stuff like that. But anyway, who knows if that's going to happen. But the Snyder Cut hopefully can still come out, and hopefully it was part of the bargaining chip that Aquaman had put on. But we'll see what happens here and on out. There's still the DCEU that's continued to go forward. Shazam is coming out, and for people who are still in it with the DCEU, current DCEU, there's a lot to be excited about. But for the people who are in it for only the Snyderverse, I'm sorry. I think that one is finally gone, and we could only close it all and kind of make peace with the whole thing when we get the Snyder Cut. In the meantime, there are a couple of things. One is called a couple fan cuts that are coming out. I know I said there was only like one, which is the Black Suit Edition, and Chris Dawson's doing a good job teasing us. But apparently there's another one called Justice League Rebirth, and it's got an original score, original VFX, and original edits, of course. But it's on VERO, and I'm gonna try to see if I can post a link of it. But I've never heard of that until someone brought it up on Facebook. So I thank you. I don't know your name. What's your name right now? I kind of find that post, but thanks for bringing that to my attention. It's supposed to come out next month. So Justice League Rebirth, another fan edit. For those of you, if you want it, if you want to see that and stuff like that, I just thought I'd put it out there. All right, well, that is it. I hope you're all having a wonderful President Day weekend. I got to watch a few movies. I watched Lego movie, and hopefully I get to watch Alita, Battle Angel Alita. I heard that was good. The Lego movie 2, debating on making a review, but I just want to say it's a good movie. I mean, it's a really good movie. It's got a lot of heart. There's a lot of an emotional moment between siblings, but the interesting part is the way they had Jason Momoa in there. They kind of took a shot at Warner Brothers and themselves, even though they're from Warner Brothers. It's like, where's Batman? Oh, he's going on to make his standalone films. And Batman himself, he's like, I'm so popular. I have 3 films coming out in various stages of development. So that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, is he telling us about the Matt Reeves trilogy? But it's a good movie, and if you like something fun and a little bit of emotion and some music, then yeah, go check it out. Lego Movie Part Two. But I heard Battle Angel Alita is quite something, and I hope I get to watch it this weekend. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.